So at this point, to be honest, I'm a bit emotional because the person that I'm going to introduce to you is the same person who inspired me to take the guidance licensure exam last 2009 and somehow to fully accept the gift, mission, and advocacy of being a counselor. So he is a mentor who chooses to focus and believe in one's strengths and not define a person by his or her weaknesses. He's the type of leader who would equip his team with the necessary skills that would allow them to excel or flourish even if they are no longer under his tutelage. So without further ado, I'm grateful to present to you my mentor, a good friend of mine, our newly elected president of PGCA, Mr. Christopher Perez Hernandez. A virtual applause for Sir Chris.
Thank you, Nessie, and thank you also, Doc G, for that wonderful message. Definitely, we will carry on with the torch that you have entrusted to us. We have been with each other in the national board for quite some time, for years, and of course, with the rest of the other members of the board of directors as well. Definitely, all your words of wisdom will be carried over to the new as we lead our organization on the national scale. And again, thank you, Nessie, also for the love and for always, being there for me and for everyone when I have invited you to do the honors to be the master of ceremonies, because I want our oath taking to be something really very heartfelt and personal. So I really invited somebody who knows who has the passion and the care also for the association. Now, Honorable Luz Mendez Guzman, the Chair of the Professional Regulatory Board for Guidance and Counseling. Honorable Carmelita Pipa Biton, Member of the PRBGC and Chair of the Career Progression and Specialization CATS program. Honorable Elena V. Morada, Member of the PRBGC and Chair of the CPD Council for Guidance and Counseling. Our immediate past President and now our ex-official, Dr. Adelaida C. Hines. PGCA past presidents who are here, our mentors, our icons and luminaries and guidance. I know you are all there. I would not be able to mention all your names, but of course, we are very grateful for your presence because this is a very momentous event for all of us and of course for the PGCA. Our representatives from the different national counseling organizations or the representatives of the national counseling organizations, all our immediate past board of directors, the PGCA chapters, presidents and representatives, our peer organization of the Philippines, fellow newly elected board of directors for 2021-2022, our PGCA staff, Juvie and Vince, friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you, and I hope that you are all safe and sound amidst this pandemic. Today, June 3, 2021, is another milestone in the history of the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association, an organization that is very dear to all of us. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are celebrating virtually to witness the peaceful transition of leadership of the PGCA in the so-called new normal. The pandemic may have ceased us to meet face-to-face, to celebrate our little or even big achievements and successes and other worthwhile events in our life. But it doesn't let our indomitable spirits down. We still hold our hopes high that at the end of it all, we will pull it through and be back on our toes once more. Allow me to be a little nostalgic in my personal and professional journey in the PGCA. The road to become the leader of our esteemed organization was not at all that easy and comfortable for me. I started as a volunteer in PGCA conferences some 20 years ago. Our mentors from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, would bring us to PGCA conferences to assist them or to help them and the board of directors who were seated there as the board of directors. I was one of those volunteers who would ask for members to queue for the food, give handouts and conference kits, assist in the registration, tally election results during board of directors election, run errands to photocopy materials of our invited resource persons, answer queries and even complaints of our members, paper presenter, workshop facilitator, hosting annual conferences, and later on, to be the master of ceremonies during oath-taking of the new registered guidance counselors. Being elected in the national board also did not come easy for me, despite my active service and presence. I lost twice in the election. I was even turned down twice when I was nominated because I do not have yet the enough service to the PGCA then. Until Dr. Benny Lascano nominated me to the board in the 50th annual conference of the PGCA, and I won and became the PRO. After 2 years, I lost in the election and I was appointed as the assistant treasurer. And I ran again and I won, and I was elected as the secretary and vice president is the most recent one. And now, you're president. Looking back, it was a tough, challenging, and inspiring journey for me. I could now appreciate even my childhood and younger days, where I was also a student leader and a young achiever, where my dear parents have molded me to become the person who I am. I was not born rich. My father was not even educated. My mother was a public school teacher. But they made sure that we will all be educated and that they will always see us flourish in our respective careers. I would always take that as my take-off point on how am I going to run the organization. These experiences and circumstances undoubtedly prepared me for a grander, shall I say mystical, because I do not know what is this for, what's the purpose of this at all, and bigger responsibility that is now on a national scale of our dear organization. This is not a dream come true for me. Like what Nessie said, to become an RGC was my dream. Yes, it was my dream. And I also shared when I delivered the speech of thanks, being the board top notcher in the 2009 licensure examination. It was a dream for me, but I never dreamed to become a board top notcher during that time. And now I never dreamed to become president as well. I never dreamt of it, though a lot of people, especially our icons who are there, I know you are listening, our leaders and mentors in the profession would always tell me that they would like me to be the president someday. I think they have prayed so hard for this, and this day is the answer to all their prayers. On May 19, during our 56th annual national virtual conference, where we had our election, the daily reading and reflection on Didache, which I read and reflect on every day, was about shepherding shepherds. Acts chapter 20, verse 28 reads, on that May 19, keep watch over yourselves and all the flock of which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers. The reflection goes, when you hear God's call for you to follow Him, you will soon inspire others to follow Him. Coincidentally, perhaps I would say, but I believe in my heart that this is God's divine plan for me and for all in the association. Thus, all praises and glory to God for guiding and paving the way for us to be able to reach this stature of the PGCA now. It was not easy, to those who have been with the PGCA for quite some time, you know the labors of our predecessors, you know the hard work, the difficulty to be able to put our dear organization to where it is right now. Now for the year 2021, 2022, where do we envision the PGCA to be? We are grateful to all our predecessors who have worked really hard to bring the PGCA honors and professional integrity among the regulated professions of the Professional Regulation Commission through the years. I'm a very introspective person. I'm a very compassionate person as well. And I always introspect. And during my time of communion with myself on how will I lead the organization, how will I be able to inspire my fellow elected board of directors to work together for the good of all our members? How do I want our term to be remembered by everyone and the rest of all our members? A lot of things came into my mind, and I could sum it up to this word, the project Aspire. All caps, Aspire. The word aspire came from the Latin word ad aspirare, meaning to breathe. Yes, let us all breathe a new air of innovation, creativity, imaginativeness, inclusiveness, camaraderie, collaboration, and competence. Following legislative advocacies for the creation of more plantilla positions for guidance counselors, especially in the public sector, upgrading of salary grade of public and private school guidance counselors, counseling in mental health, multiculturalism, diversity, and inclusiveness. We will put our best effort to sustain our momentum to advocate for the good causes of our profession. S stands for specialization. If you can remember, Dr. Pabiton already shared with us during the 56th Annual National Virtual Conference the proposed 14 specializations for counselors. We will definitely support our PRBGC in implementing the mechanisms for the specialization of our members. We will also assist our members in their pursuit to become certified specialists as well in their chosen field. We will work together for this. P stands for professional development. The PGCA is known to provide our members quality professional activities to improve their craft and to help them in the practice of our profession. We commit ourselves to continue providing our members unparalleled professional activities that could be done at least monthly, especially during the pandemic, on top of the annual mid-year and annual conferences where we all gather together. Our activities will be more responsive and relevant to the changing demands of the times, our clients, and our stakeholders. We shall also create a professional Filipino brand of counselors who adhere to the highest and ethical standards of the counseling profession. I, for internationalization. It has always been my dream for Filipino counselors to be recognized in the global arena of counseling. We shall continue with our active membership in the American Counseling Association, renew our Mutual Recognition Agreement or MRA with the Australian Counseling Association, Association of Psychologists and Counselors in Singapore or the APACs, forge new MRAs with the New Zealand Counseling Association, although this has been started already, and other counseling associations in the ASEAN region. This is, of course, in time for the 2022 ASEAN Counseling Conference to be hosted by the Philippines. The program, I think, has already been done and has been submitted to the PRBGC by our immediate past president during our term. I look forward for the day that all of us Filipino counselors will take pride of our counseling practice and make waves globally, but practicing locally. When I was in the United States with my wife, before I took the licensure exam in 2009, I would always say that I was always inspired to come back to the Philippines and take the licensure examination. Lo and behold, after the licensure exam, it's not just that passing the board examination. And I was able to find that this is the purpose for me. This is the purpose, this is the grand plan of God for me to come back and for me to be able to become a leader of the system organization. R stands for research. We all know that through research, we are able to discover new knowledge and concepts which can create an impact in our profession and create a difference in the lives of other people. We shall continue and further strengthen the research capabilities of our counselors and graduate school students by retooling them with the rigors of counseling research. We shall allot more funds for thesis assistance to our master's degree students in guidance and counseling. Provide incentives in whatever form to all authors of research articles that are published in the guidance journal, which is a peer-refereed journal. We shall make our guidance journal be available online to be able to reach a wider range of audience and researchers. We shall establish mechanisms to determine the impact of our public researches that would serve as a takeoff point to produce more quality researches. We shall ensure that we will have paper or poster presentations every mid-year and annual conference, even though it's going to be virtual. I don't know how we're going to do that, but we will definitely do it. And last one, letter E for engagement. The era has now come that indeed we cannot do things alone. We need to synergize with our fellow advocates and professional organizations, government agencies, non-government agencies, benefactors, scholars, researchers, practitioners, specialists, to come up with programs, policies, and mechanisms for program development, delivery, and evaluation. And this oath-taking, wherein we have invited all our presidents, our past presidents, national counseling organizations, all our advocates, and so on, this signifies that this signals more collaborative activities, more collaborative projects and partnerships with you. We shall engage ourselves more in the establishment of community counseling centers, starting off with the 28 PGCA chapters across the Philippines. I hope our chapter presidents have listened to this. We shall establish community counseling centers in your respective areas. These community counseling centers will be both a responding and a learning hub. Women and children who are victims of domestic violence and abuse, married couples who need marital counseling, adolescents who need assistance in their career choices, and dealing with their issues and concerns, among other counseling clientele, will have a place to run to for comfort and assistance, especially during these difficult times. Our graduate school students, because for you to be able to take the licensure exam, you need to have a master's degree, can also have a place for internship, of course, under the supervision of a registered guidance counselor. Further, the PGCA will engage with more collaboration and partnerships with all our NCOs or national counseling organizations. I think they're all here represented. Thank you for coming. And other mental health organizations like the National Center for Mental Health, Philippine Mental Health Association, Psychological Association of the Philippines, Philippine Psychiatric Association, Philippine Center for Gifted Education, and a lot more, who definitely share the same vision with us. We shall further engage the National Board with consultations with our chapters to listen to their pressing concerns in their respective areas. We will ensure that the National Board is felt by our members through constant dialogues and collaborative activities. Let us utilize and seize the moment that we are able to reach out to everyone through technology. Therefore, the Aspire program for 2021-2022 succinctly envisions the PGCA's core values of being professional, goal-driven, competent, and advocates. Let us all rally behind each other to make all our dreams for our association be realized. I earnestly pray for your cooperation, participation, and support to PGCA. We, the National Board of Directors 2021-2022, can do nothing without you around. We can do all this together as one. I would like to share the pride and the joy of leading this organization, of course, with my family who are streaming also via Facebook, of course, to my mother who is in the province, and in memoriam of my father, to my wife and to my daughter. In a special way, I would like to share also with this to my Office of Counseling and Guidance family at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. They're all here also. Thank you very much. Special mention, of course, to our dear director, Dr. Joel C. Habenyar, and also our past directors who have paved the way also for us. Thank you very much to all of you. To my fellow immediate past BODs, to the immediate past board of directors, thank you for the wonderful time that we have shared. And I'm very sure that all of us will be able to cherish all these moments together that we have made together. To my fellow current board of directors, congratulations to all of us. Of course, a big good luck to all of us. And Godspeed to everyone. I hope I can hug you all and kiss you all and embrace you to have, to feel my warmest congratulations and welcome as well. I'm a very warm person, to those who do not know me yet. I'm a very warm person and a very compassionate person, as I may say. But I'm a very a true person. What you see is what you get also from me. And I hope that the pandemic and the technology will not be able to dampen us to be able to reach out and to be able to let our love and care for each other be felt by each one. My sincerest thanks to all of you, and may you all be safe and well from the COVID-19, and may all your family be safe as well. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Mabuhay ang PGCA. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Sir Chris. You really never fail to inspire us, and we know that the PGCA community will continue to flourish under your leadership and support of our past board of directors and our dear counselor. So it is actually a tulungan, no? It's actually a malasakit for everyone in order for your program to progress. Okay? So let us all continue to aspire wherever we are planted.